Sure. So I think a large part of it was prior to me starting my business. I was really involved as a restaurant manager and general manager of a corporate thing. I was really involved in our community. So I think that's a big key, no matter where you're at any stage, whether you're a small business or whether you're a big corporation, that being involved in your community is key. Because it's going to bridge you to so many things. So for me, I was running, I'd been at the restaurant for 11 years, worked my way up from, banquet coordinator host to general manager. And over that time, I really got involved with the chamber. I got involved with the local schools. I was able to kind of work with other, the TV stations for promotions, and making those connections and networking really helped me kind of thrust Gwen's Tiny Kitchen to where it is now, and me being able to maintain that. So already having that network in place and those connections in place. And so for me now, it's a matter of also still being present. So still coming to chamber meetings, still going to local communities, offering my services sometimes to, elementary school garden clubs. So then that way, because that can stem off a birthday party. Oh, hey, I really love it. My kids love coming, or camps. So you never know, what seeds you're planting when you do small events, but just making sure that, you're available and you have those conversations and you leave room for that.
Awesome. That's really powerful. I think really unique too, especially in the restaurant or the kind of the food and beverage space in general. I feel like typically a lot of the ideas is you've got to push the marketing out, paid ads, things like that, to try to bring people into the space, but kind of going out, right? Doing your own networking, going out to your communities. I think that's really, really great actionable items that anyone can very easily do. I have one of our clients right now, what they do to attract people is they have networking events hosted in their restaurant. Mm-hmm. So they will contact other organizations and hey, why don't you host your restaurant here? And the only those networking events are free, but the criteria is they have to buy a plate to be there. So that's a great tool, a very, very simple way to get people. And then if the service is good and the food is good, then you immediately kind of build your own community from that. So I think it's a great, great way, networking outreach that I think is a little bit underutilized in the food and beverage space, but a super fantastic tool.
Yeah, and to echo that piece of it, the one thing that has always stood out for me from marketing is it's word of mouth. That is more powerful than anything that you're going to spend money on, and it's free. Right. And especially now with all of these parent groups on Facebook, or people going to social media to ask for recommendations, that's what's going to link people back to you. So I think that moment my focus when I was a general manager and working in their sort of their event marketing space was, how do we create those memories that make people want to come back? Right. The food can be great, but we latch onto more than that. It is, hey, I had a fabulous birthday experience here. Let's continue to come back. I had a great happy hour. And for me with the chamber, it's hard as a restaurant owner to be involved in business groups because their meetings are breakfast time, their lunch time. That is their time that they network. And that's our busy time. That is our business time. And so exactly that. I started hosting the women's group for the chamber and bringing 30, 40 people in and doing their plated lunches and let them have their back room for free. And it evolved to many, many great connections, but then they'd bring their business in and they'd think, oh, hey, event space in the back. So yes, finding that way to network in is such a powerful tool for marketing, more than a paid ad or a discount. The thing with discounting is you start discounting, then that's what people expect. But if you have a great product and you're offering maybe a room for free, or you're saying, hey, I'll give you sort of a wonderful partnership discount, right, on a plated dinner, then that speaks more volumes than discounting a free appetizer or 50% off. I mean, they'd still work, but is it the clientele that you're wanting to bring in, or that expectation of experience?
Gotcha. That's awesome. Yeah, great tips there. What would you say to someone maybe just starting out, or even a veteran who's never utilized those kinds of tactics? What would you recommend for them to use to start?
I think the biggest piece is identify the clients that you want, or the group of people that you want to bring into your business. right? If you're looking for, if you have an event space in the back and you know that, hey, we really want to bring that in and really bring more people in, then reaching out to pharmaceutical reps, right? Because they're always looking for a space. They're always having, that's part of their job, is building those meet and greets with doctors and pharmaceutical reps. Finding the individuals that are going to kind of pipeline you in. Some of the other things that we did is, schools and teachers, like, they love food and they will be loyal to the death if you're able to feed them. And so we would do teacher appreciations, right? We would go and drop off meals at the school and just appreciate them. And, I think that also spoke volumes to them, and they appreciated that. It's kind of like, you get what you give. And so I would say, first, identify, the clientele that you want to have come into your business. If you're looking for a higher end luxury, then you're going to the higher end places and kind of soliciting there or making network selections there. And then also figure out what you can give, because not everything, when you're working on a budget, your P&L, you got to see what you can give, because everything at the end of the day, as we know, business owners, small business owners, everything has a cost attached to it. So it's how much can you give, and how can you stretch that as much as possible. So, for me now as a small business owner, some of the things that I'll do is, I donate a chef experiences for auctions, and, they're big ticket items. They make a lot of money for these foundations, and it's a really great pool because people going to fundraisers are obviously clients that are going to come back and book private chef experiences. So that's a great way, because for me, I'm just covering my food cost. My time is free, but it's free marketing on the back end of it. And it also helps to support a really great organization too.
Awesome. I love it. So much great information there. Super, super valuable that I think anyone, like you said, anyone who's either brand new or a veteran in the game can utilize this very, very easily. One thing that I found really interesting that you said was pharmaceutical reps. That alone was such a unique idea that I've never even thought of, but super valuable. Finding organizations or finding individuals who have a large client pool, that's a great way to attract business. If you have one person, but that they can become a regular, that's so great. Hey, I have this event room in the back, or I have some space here we can cordon off, or, we have the atmosphere that you can bring your clients in. That's such a valuable tool that I've actually never even thought of that anyone could very easily use.
For sure. And you got to think about the people that are feeding, right? Think about the folks that are like pharmaceutical reps. They're bringing food to every single office that they stop at. So it's saying, hey, listen, I'll create a package for you to make it work within your budget. And then that way they look like a hero, because one, they're staying in their budget that they have to tide for, but they're being able to bring it to the office. And it just it continues to give, right? It's all about those relationships and harboring and sort of creating these really great, unique experiences for everyone you work with.